Welcome to our final episode of the Roll for Crit podcast for the year 2014.
This week, in lieu of news, we're going to be bringing you our picks for the best tabletop games of the year 2014. Should be really exciting. I'm Jonathan Estes.
I'm Will Keeler. This is Cosmo, the Roll for Critter, and this is the Roll for Crit podcast. Hey, welcome. So before we give you the games we found the best of the year, we're going to give honorary mentions, a.k.a. the ones we didn't get to.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely some big ones that we didn't get to play at all.
Right.
Unfortunately.
We can only play so much.
Yeah. Also, and some of them just came out.
Right.
Namely Imperial Assault. Although, actually, we did get the chance to play that.
Yes.
But it was a truncated version. Uh-huh. And another one I know we tried to play a bunch of times, haven't gotten to it, is Five Tribes.
Yeah, that was definitely one that, I don't know, it just seemed to always avoid our grasp.
Yeah.
I know a big one for me, this isn't nearly as big of a game, but is Shadows of Brimstone from Flying Frog. It just came out, so once again, by the time of this recording, I haven't had a chance to play it.
Yeah, and then at least I know I have a couple of games that I really liked, but I didn't feel like I spent enough time with them to put them on my official list. For me, one was, I wrote them down, one was Dead of Winter.
Hi, really?
Yeah.
You didn't put that on the list.
I didn't put it on my list. Oh, we don't know each other's lists. But although I really liked it, I didn't feel like I got to dig into it enough. The other one for me was Imperial Settlers, which another one that I bought and paid for and really liked, but I didn't feel in good conscience I could put it on my list. What about you?
Well, I mean, besides the one I said, Lagoon, it was a big one that I got, but we just haven't had the time to play. Mm-hmm. And another one that I really liked, but once again, this is another one I didn't even get a chance to play, Castles of the Mad King Ludwig.
Yes, that's another one, a good one to put on the list that we both really want to play. Yeah, so with that being said, let's start off with our actual list. So mine actually isn't in order. No fears.
Is?
Yeah.
Well, then you go first.
Okay, so we'll go back and forth. Mm-hmm. I'm going to start with my number 5, and we'll see how many of these we have the exact same list for. My number 5 is actually... Also, we should say, I'm really putting him in suspense, that if you watched our holiday gift guide episode a couple weeks ago, you'll probably see some overlap because those were all new games as well. But anyway, My number 5 is Marvel Dice Masters from WizKids. If you've seen it, we did an episode. We've talked about it a lot, including on last week's podcast. Mm-hmm. It's a collectible card game that we both have really liked.
Dice game, I would say.
It has cards in it.
I think part of the reason that makes it so great isn't just the mechanics, but the pricing.
The pricing, the
compared
structure
to most
of it.
collectible, excluding the rare absence of the first set.
Very affordable.
Very affordable.
And, we obviously, I love the Marvel license.
Right.
And it's been a lot of fun being on the front lines of this one, and the two of us getting the chance to play it together.
Knowing that it's not just getting Marvel, we're getting DC, Dungeons and Dragons, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Maybe even more from the Shonen Jump, which would be... Yeah. We'll finally see Superman versus Goku, who will win.
So the reason it's at the bottom of my list is, as we've said before, there were those little issues, and also just how hard it was to get a handle on at some times. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I think very promising, and I'm excited to see more. So that's my 5.
All right. My number 5 is actually one that you put on, one of the ones you put on the list, is actually Imperial Settlers.
Okay.
Once again, we did play this not that much, but by playing it just that one time, I was already hooked. I'm already excited. I mean, I got the 51st State, which I know is like an unpolished version, like almost like a pre-version. Mm-hmm. But I'm still, even though I have that, I'm like, Jonathan, we should play Imperial Settlers.
Yeah.
It's on my bottom 5 because of that, and I still need to try the multiplayer. But to me, just that one experience was just so amazing. Also, I have to say, I realized another honorable mention that I have to say, because it has to be on our list because we're actually ordering it in another language.
Oh, that's true.
Yes.
Mysterium.
Yes, we totally both forgot about it, but that was an amazing game. Neither of us got to play, which I think both that was the thing we both hated about Board Game Geek Con because we both missed that. That was the one game.
I'm sure there will be more games
Yes.
we neglect to say, so keep that in mind.
Yes, but that one in particular because we actually ordered them, which I think we have to say.
Yeah.
But Imperial Settlers, I'm dying to play more compared to like some other games.
I'm glad it did make it to your list either way because like you said, super fun, and I'm excited to play more of it as well. All right, my numero 4 is shocking perhaps no one, Sheriff of Nottingham.
Ooh.
This one, again, we just talked about this on our holiday gift guide, but this is one of my favorite things in any game is when, as both of us, is hidden information and with bluffing can be so much fun. And this is a game that really brings out that goofy, sneaky side in people. And it's just, I feel like really unique, although I think it is actually a re-implementation of an older game. But that being said, I don't remember the name of it offhand. I think it's an older one. But for me, at least, it was a really unique experience that when I first played it at Board Game or Gen Con, it really blew my mind and it's still fun.
I'm going to say that actually was my number 3 pick.
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're already talking about it now, so why should we go back to say the exact same things all over again?
All right, if you just want to break the format of the lists.
But so I'm just going to talk about it now.
All right, fine.
Yeah, for me, the game just has a much more tactic experience with the clicking.
Oh, I know what you're trying to say.
And it just, the way you have people in it is so funny, because that one game we were watching just because, like, someone like took your bag and looking at it, and then reached over and grabbed someone else's bag while looking right at you, and everyone's like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, there's the psychology of it and the mind games, the meta game is a huge part of that.
Yeah, and I thought it's like you said before, it is a party game almost.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, my actual number 4,
yes,
so is Heroes Wanted. In this game, you take the role of a random hero trying to join their version of the Justice League or Avengers. But however, your hero is decided by 2 random cards that are dealt to you, or you can do like 3 depending on. So you can become, I believe weren't you Giant Beard the first time we played?
Giant Beard.
Right. I forget what I was.
So do I.
Something dragon. But it was just a lot of fun, and also had this silly mechanic of not really being the hero yet. Like the first strategy. I'm gonna keep going like this one because it was the one I remember the most.
Yeah.
It was picking up litter. Like a guy was jaywalking and littering. It was this hilarious twist on the hero concept. It's like, well, before they're heroes, they're sort of these weird, but it was still a lot of fun mechanic of sort of co-op at the same time hurting each other.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 3 is this one. I don't know. I don't know if you will think of this one. This one's actually an expansion I put on my list.
Oh.
It is the Guardians of the Galaxy expansion for Marvel Legendary. This was, I think they're, other than Dark City, but as far as at least the small expansions go, their best one by far. It added the new mechanic with these shard tokens that I really like, and plus we've been super hyped up on all the Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So all that coming together really made that one of my favorites of the year, and plus Legendary already is one of our favorite games.
Well, I do think my favorite thing about it is Artifact. I think, assuming they do a mixture of effects, Artifact will be
a new card type.
Yes, I think that will be great if they do that. Otherwise, it's just going to fall and just disappear, I feel, which is
either way,
I think likely.
But I think of all of them, I like Guardians of the Galaxy. Also, really works as a standalone.
Yeah, out of the small ones.
Yeah. So your number 3 you already said.
Yeah. So should I do my 2 then, and then we'll just go?
No, just come back to me.
All right. By all means.
You got to do 2 in a row. I have to do 2 in a row.
I have no problem with that.
My number 2 works really well actually. From
what?
Maybe you can guess.
I have a feeling, but tell them.
Actually, and I don't know. I'm guessing it's on yours too. But actually, I almost made it my number 1. In fact, my number 2 is Legendary Encounters, the Alien version of the Legendary deck building game.
I actually cut that game.
Not on your list at all.
No, because
shocked.
that was one I decided I need to play through all 4 story scenarios.
Our criteria is so weird. How different it is. Anyway, as I said, and if you've watched the show, we love Legendary.
We love Alien,
right?
So it's like,
and this was such a great refinement of Legendary, and suited it to the Alien universe so well. in such a smart way, and the more cooperative nature of it. I really, in a lot of ways, I do like it. I do think they improved upon the original formula.
Well, I think what's nice about it is when we play Legendary, the regular one, we're all fighting at the same time. Like, sure, we're helping, but just like in the universe,
we're really not.
Spider-Man will be like Wolverine. They fight occasionally. They have their own. But in this, there's definitely that feeling of, oh, I am screwed. Like,
I love my favorite thing is the coordinate cards.
Oh yeah, no,
where you actually help people outside your turn.
It's definitely an amazing thing. It's just, once again, I feel like
you wanted to put more time into it.
I do, especially because there is more. Like, they have the thing you can turn it into an alien. And,
oh, that's true. We didn't play the trader mode yet.
Like, I feel like there was too much I was missing out of that. When Imperial Settlers, for example, I felt like I played enough to really know.
There's still other factions you haven't played.
That's true.
Anyway, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is actually...
As opposed to letter 2? Or...
Yes. Dead of Winter.
Okay.
Once again, on your list, we played it twice.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy it because I'm always a sucker for themes. And I am. The crossword deck really is here. Let theme just ooze all over this, but in a way that's still mechanically. Mm-hmm. And I just thought that was such a great idea. That it was first time I was playing a zombie game where I wasn't really just thinking, okay, just gotta get rid of all the zombies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I actually felt I was playing a new game. It just happened zombies were around.
It definitely it gets that atmosphere A+. They nail it really well.
I mean, and I'm excited because we also know there are more Crossroad games to come, which is, I'm already excited. Like, what's it gonna be? Like,
yeah, I don't know. They haven't announced yet.
But I mean, and it has trader mechanic, which we love. I mean,
it really is like they made that game for us.
Yeah, no, and just because we only played it twice, the only reason it's not a number 1 for me. It would have taken number 1 probably.
Yeah. I'll be honest. As much as I do love it, and part of the reason it wasn't on my list was mainly because we haven't played it enough. Mm-hmm. But it didn't. It also it's a much more. It's a very heavy kind of, like you said, themey, like immerse yourself game. It didn't quite light me on fire the way these other games did. At least not yet.
Yeah, no, I definitely I can see that. But like I said, Imperial Settlers, that's what happened to me. Like, as soon as I played it, I was just like,
that's fair.
Wow.
So then I will give my numero 1. I don't know why whenever there's numbers I go into Spanish. All right, well,
because you believe Spanish is the number 1 language.
My number 1 pick for the year is, and maybe a little bit of a cheat, but it's Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition.
Ooh, that's...
So, of course Dungeons & Dragons has been around for many, many years, but I think this counts. It's the brand new version of it. And
to be fair, also, we've never played Dungeons & Dragons before this, so really it is...
So for us, it was a totally new experience. And if you haven't seen our D&D episode...
I haven't. Have you really done any RPG playing before?
Never. That was it. Well, once, but... So I dipped my toes in, but not really.
Yeah, so really, it's the first time we both really started.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen our D&D episode, watch it, and you'll hear our thoughts. But in a nutshell, just new and so much fun to get everybody, our friends together and have that adventure. And
plus, which, of course, isn't happening anymore.
Right, well, we have to make time for that. But also... and opening the door now of me wanting to, create my own campaigns and stuff.
Oh, I want to create my own character and stuff.
Yeah, so
I will say one of the best things about it is, I don't know, it's not the game, it's having you as a DM, because he does the best voices.
You know it.
He's very good DM.
We should put out some more.
Just us playing.
Yes, just a little.
I'll tell you what. When we get Ivan behind the camera to actually make it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Well, my number 1.
Oh, yeah, wait. I'm trying. I honestly. Oh, I might know. Go ahead.
Abyss.
That's what I thought.
Yes. This one I have played multiple times, so this is one I could really say I've gotten into. I've dived into, if you will. But I just found it was, first of all, the artwork is some of the best artwork I've ever seen. The mechanics I thought worked really well, and they made it very hard for someone to just run ahead, I feel. Like, they made it really easy for the game for others to catch up. Also, another thing I loved is the way the game works, it actually accelerates. So it is slow at first. It's almost like RPG. You don't go straight into fighting dragons and like huge ogres. You grind on the goblins or something. That's how that actually felt with the way the cards worked. And I thought it was just a lot of fun. It was much more of less of a theme game, really, though. Yeah. But I still enjoyed it so much. I love the idea of the different box cover artwork. which I think it really adds. Not even like because I want every copy, but just so it's sort of like it's almost as if this one's mine.
Right.
Like, even though I know thousands of people have that cover, because it's different. It could be like I have
It's special.
Yeah.
No, I 100% agree with that. Was on my list.
We should also mention pearls.
Pearls.
Like if you watch our gift thing, those pearls are just the best thing in the world.
No, that easily could have replaced one of my like 3 through 5. Probably part of the reason I didn't was because I figured you would talk about it. But I'm really right there. I loved it. I think as much as not as much because it wouldn't be my number one, but still loved it.
I think it's funny because I'll have mine like I have a lot that probably be number one, but I haven't played them enough. Right. So it's like Abyss made it there because I didn't play other things enough as it.
Yeah, that's true.
But it really is still one of the best games you can pick up.
I'm actually shocked. So you didn't have Dice Masters on your list either.
Well, for me, this is my issue with Dice Masters. After playing a lot of board games, and before most of the board games, I only played Magic. Even playing Dice Masters, even though it's cheaper and it's fun, it's just still.
You've been there, done that.
I've been there and done. Like for me, the board games, I feel excite me much more. Like I love the Dice Masters. I love being cheap, but I just compared to playing the games with other people, like
in terms of percentage of our conversations in the past year, definitely that has taken up the most.
It has, but I think part of it is just new and interesting. We'll see where it goes.
And because it's collectible, there's a lot more to
which is funny because I'm usually a collecting addict.
Yeah, well, and I have been having fun collecting it, but more
really because it seems like
that's why I said. I was going to say more lately I've kind of been like, well, I have enough now. I don't need a lot of new ones yet.
Well, I think problem is also because we haven't played it recently.
Right, it's been a little while. Which we need to get back to, of course.
Well, we need to get back to like everything. Like everything we just said, we need to play more.
But yeah, I think pretty good list. Another one that I didn't play that you got to play that I wish I could put on our list is Tragedy Loop.
Yeah, I actually avoid putting that on there because I only played it once. And but that was it was a new, different experience, which is why I cannot put it on here because it's rude to both it and the other games. I'm not giving it a fair chance to really show it and have it shine.
Another one that we did play once that I think is worth a mention is the Battle at Kemble's Cascade.
That was another fun one.
That we really liked. Just a list.
Yeah, I actually didn't think of that one.
Yeah.
Actually,
an Evolution we really liked too.
No, that one is a lot of fun too. And I like how we look over here as if they can see it.
Yeah, Evolution.
It's over here on a tape. But that game was a lot of fun. And yet simple to understand it. But I just feel these other games, most of them, really shine to me or into a way.
I think we can both agree, and I know from the consensus I've heard multiple times throughout this year is that the amount of really good games coming out just gets more every year, and this year was
this year shined.
Definitely not an exception.
If it keeps increasing, we can't. Can you just imagine what's gonna?
I know we got to really step up our game. Get it in terms of playing like all the new releases because there's a lot of great stuff and But
overall, I think the most important thing we should think about when it comes to all these games, whether your choices were on this list or whether they were not. I think you have to realize when we come to these games, we come here to play a game to have fun. And I think that's what is the best thing about this.
That's beautiful.
And that's what we should be taking from this. Well, it's the end of the year. I got to think of a nice wrap-up.
Yeah, whether
whether you're into the RPG scene, whether you prefer randomness, whether you need to have everything be able to be calculated, let's just sit down at the table with friends and have fun.
Because, we actually went by the game's mechanics, but easily you could also say one of your favorites is a game that maybe you didn't really like, but just when you played it, the people you played it with, it was really something came out that was really fun.
I think actually that's Sheriff Nottingham. Half of the reason that makes it so great was just the people we play with.
Sure.
I mean, I remember when I played with my brother one time, and it was obvious he had all what's the contraband, but he paid the guy. Like I said, sure, just let him have all this contraband. It was just the funniest thing ever.
And that's the kind of experience that we treasure.
And that's why we play board games.
Exactly.
And which excites me, what other games are to come. I mean, the ones we even had on our honorable mention list.
You could say, I know already next year we're going to have the Magic board game. A couple other XCOM early next year.
X-Files?
X-Files will be out. I know there's at least one other really big one that we mentioned recently. But anyway,
there's so many to go, and we're just starting. We hope you are too.
We should say
let's join this adventure together.
Also just hey, Happy New Year! This was our we haven't been a site for a year yet, but it does feel like the end of
our first year change.
Yeah, first year change.
Well, because we first started working in January, the site didn't go up till later.
Well, yeah,
we'll have a special thing for that.
But we, thanks for joining us for this year and checking out all the games with us, and hope you had a great year. And if you want to let us know what your favorite games of the year are, or in fact, if you just have a question, you want to ask us something about board games, or
maybe something you want us to even talk about.
Yeah, suggestion, we would love that. You could just comment right on this video, or you could send us an email. Our email address is rollforcrit@gmail.com.
And of course, as we've been saying through all our videos, there's Twitter. @rollforcrit, and of course our personal Twitters, @Dorkiryu,
@Quince, and the Roll for Crit family, @Ivan Arhan behind the camera, and @Foamy89 art and news department.
Well, also Cosmo, our Roll for Crit, does not have a Twitter, but you can follow us on Instagram for many photos of him, which will also be posted to Twitter, so you might as well just follow the Twitter.
Absolutely. So, of course, thank you to all our crew and to everybody who supported us, etc., etc. And thing we're talking about, of course, is rollforcrit.com.
Of course, the site where you can buy all these games, check out all these videos, all the news from all the top gaming industries. And really just a great place to hang out.
I just hang out there all the time.
Oh, yeah, I know, because you're actually updating it all the time.
Sort of have to. But, yeah, other than that, follow us, like us, subscribe, etc., etc. Keep in touch. We'd love to hear from you.
We hope you enjoyed us through 2014, and I hope you continue to follow us through 2015 by clicking subscribe below.
we would really like that. That's going to do it. Thank you for watching. My name is Jonathan Estes.
I'm Will Keeler, and this has been the Roll for Crit podcast.